today I'm going to be talking about how to do an accurate scale drawing in the 1 to 10 and the 1 to 25 scale. So basically a scale drawing is just a drawing that is an accurate representation of an actual thing. The actual thing would be measured in the 1 to 1 scale, which is its actual size. So the scenic cube, which is what we're going to be doing the drawing for today, is 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres. So when you convert that into two different scales, which is the 1 to 10 and the 1 to 25, you have to scale it down by either divided by 10 or divided by 25. So I now am just going to quickly draw a skeleton, like a 3D representation on a piece of paper to scale, and then I'll show you the calculations I did and where to go from there. So here is the basic skeleton, and I'm just going to go through the calculations that I used to get this. So basically the actual, so I'm just going to write actual here, is 40 centimetres times 40 centimetres times 40 centimetres, and because we're doing the 1 to 10 scale as I've written here, we've got to divide all of these measurements by 10. So that means the width would be 4 centimetres, depth would be 4 centimetres, and the height would also be 4 centimetres, which is what I've just drawn here, which is all of these lines are 4 centimetres, and I've made it look 3D. It's a 3D cube at the moment, because you need to be able to see the width of the timber and all of them, which I will draw in later. We're also going to do the width of the timber. So the timber is the framing we're going to be using because it's strong and it's sturdy. So the timber is 4.3 centimetres because it's like a square tube. So if you divide that by 10, it is 0.43 centimetres, which I will go up and down in here, and we'll mark that in to make sure we know the actual measurements, because this up here, including the cladding on the top, has to be 40 centimetres in the actual. And then the cladding that will be on the top, so all of this you won't be able to see, will be, just going to write it down quick, will be 12 millimetres, and if you divide by that 10 is 0.12 millimetres thick. So now we have done this, I'm just going to get round to drawing all of the other bits, mark out the cladding, mark out where the different bits go, label it all with the correct measurements, and then we'll come back and I'll just explain a bit more to what we're doing and then how you would do the 1 to 25. So I've just drawn this, I've shaded in the top for where the cladding's going to be and accounted for all of the timber framing, what's going to be in there. But I do need to note that because the across and the up and the depth all have to be 40 at the end of it, you do have to account for the width of the timber in the joints. So you would have to take, for this side here, it wouldn't be 4, it would be 4, take away 2 times the width of the timber because of this one as well, which is 0.43. And when you do that calculation, it is 4 take away 0.86, which is 3.14 centimetres. So also for the height of this, you would have to take away the width of the timber times 2 because of this one, and the width of this, the cladding on top. So it would be, I'm just going to do it down here, 4 take away 0.86 take away 0.12. So that altogether is going to be 3.02. So the height of all 4 of the legs is going to be 3.02 centimetres. So now that we've labelled it all, done all the calculations, I'm just going to do an explosion of the joints we're going to use. The joints that we're going to use for all of it are just going to be standard butt joints. I'm also going to show you where the screws are going to be in the butt joint, because if you do it a certain way, you're not going to be able to get more than 2 screws in each side. So this is just the exploded version of the butt joint. It shows you where they're going to cross over. I'm just going to talk through how you would do the 1 to 25 scale. It's exactly the same process. You do the exact same thing, draw it the exact same way, apart from the calculations are going to be divided by 25 instead of divided by 10. So that is all you need to know on how to do a scale drawing.